Have you ever wondered why some challenges in life feel relentless, as if the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders, testing not only your strength but your very spirit? Life has a way of presenting obstacles that seem insurmountable, and for those living with chronic kidney disease, one such hidden challenge is the silent threat of high potassium levels, or hyperkalemia. Many patients may not realize that while the body continues its daily functions, the kidneys, our natural guardians against toxic buildup, begin to falter quietly, allowing dangerous elements like potassium to accumulate. This is not merely a medical fact. It is a profound lesson about awareness, responsibility, and the delicate balance that governs our lives. Dr. Mathew R. Weir emphasizes that understanding the subtle signals our bodies give us is the first step toward taking control of our health and ultimately our destiny. Just as a gardener carefully tends to the soil, removing weeds and enriching the earth to allow flowers to bloom, so too must we pay attention to the inner workings of our bodies, recognizing the signs before they turn into crises. High potassium may not announce itself loudly at first. It creeps in, whispering warnings through fatigue, irregular heartbeats, and subtle changes in energy levels, urging us to listen, to act, to adjust. And in this quiet, almost invisible struggle, there lies a universal truth. The battles we cannot see are often the ones that shape us the most. It is in these moments, when life's hidden dangers threaten to overwhelm, that discipline, mindfulness, and proactive action become not just choices, but necessities. By embracing this philosophy, inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, we recognize that every measurement, every checkup, every small dietary adjustment is more than routine. It is an act of courage, a declaration that we refuse to be passive spectators in our own lives. The human spirit, much like the resilient kidney, has an incredible capacity to adapt, to persevere, and to overcome, but only when guided by awareness and informed action. Here lies the profound motivation. Health challenges are not merely obstacles to endure. They are invitations to elevate our consciousness, to refine our habits, and to engage deeply with the life we are given. Each day presents an opportunity to honor our bodies by listening carefully, interpreting signals wisely, and responding with deliberate care. In the case of CKD patients facing high potassium, this translates to understanding which foods nurture the body, which habits strengthen resilience, and which choices prevent hidden threats from turning into life-threatening emergencies. Dr. Mathew R. Weir, that teaches us not only the science behind these strategies, but also the philosophy that underpins them. Every small mindful action compounds over time, creating profound shifts in our health and well-being. Life's subtle whispers, like the early signs of hyperkalemia, demand attention and respect, for ignoring them risks both physical danger and a missed opportunity to practice discipline, responsibility, and self-awareness. And so, the journey of managing CKD is not simply a medical journey. It is a spiritual and philosophical exercise, a daily practice in understanding the fragility of life, the power of conscious choices, and the beauty of resilience. To live fully, one must cultivate both knowledge and mindfulness, balancing awareness with action, science with intuition, and caution with courage. As we navigate the invisible threats within our own bodies, we also cultivate the qualities that allow us to face external challenges with grace and determination. The story of high potassium in CKD patients is, therefore, much more than a clinical narrative. It is a metaphor for life itself. The invisible burdens we carry, the subtle dangers we may overlook, and the incremental steps we take to safeguard our future all mirror the larger truths of existence. By attending to these small, critical details, by monitoring potassium levels, adjusting our diets, and recognizing early warning signs, we are practicing a profound form of self-respect and empowerment. And through this lens, Dr. Mathew R. Weir that reminds us that knowledge, when paired with action and awareness, transforms fear into confidence, danger into opportunity, and vulnerability into strength. This is the essence of living intentionally, the heart of overcoming not only health challenges, but every obstacle that life presents, and the foundation upon which true resilience is built. As we journey deeper into understanding the hidden challenges of chronic kidney disease, it becomes clear that the greatest threats are often those we cannot immediately perceive. High potassium levels, though invisible at first, creep silently, a quiet menace that waits for the perfect moment to reveal its danger. This is not unlike the obstacles we face in life, the fears, the doubts, the moments of indecision that lurk in the shadows, unnoticed until they suddenly demand our attention. Dr. Mathew R. Weir emphasizes that awareness is the cornerstone of prevention, that knowledge without vigilance is like a sword left unused, a potential that remains dormant until it is wielded. For CKD patients, each meal, each fluid intake, each lifestyle choice carries weight beyond the obvious, influencing the delicate chemical balance within the body, and potentially determining whether a moment of subtle weakness escalates into a life-threatening emergency. Here lies the suspense, the silent drama that unfolds in every patient's life. The body, in its infinite wisdom, attempts to maintain equilibrium, but the failing kidneys struggle silently, unable to filter potassium efficiently, and the consequences remain hidden until a sudden irregular heartbeat or an overwhelming fatigue signals danger. This is the moment when theory becomes reality, when vigilance becomes necessity, and when the teachings of Dr. Mathew R. Weir that gain profound significance. We begin to understand that health is not simply the absence of illness, but the continuous cultivation of balance, attention, and responsive action. Just as a seasoned sailor reads the subtle signs of the wind and the tides before a storm arrives, so too must CKD patients read the signs their bodies provide, however faint or ambiguous they may be. Life's most critical lessons often arrive disguised as quiet, persistent challenges, and it is in recognizing these hidden patterns that true empowerment is found. Every heartbeat, every pang of fatigue, every minor change in energy or mood is a signal, a coded message urging mindfulness and action. To ignore these signs is to gamble with one's life, to underestimate the intricate intelligence of the body and the inevitability of consequences. Yet in this delicate balance lies profound hope. For with knowledge comes the ability to act decisively, to alter the trajectory of events, and to transform potential crises into manageable challenges. Dr. Mathew R. Weir teaches that understanding the science behind our bodies is only half the battle. The other half is cultivating discipline, patience, and the courage to implement small, consistent changes that accumulate into meaningful impact. This is where suspense transforms into purpose, where the uncertainty of hidden threats becomes a call to engage fully with life and health. Every dietary adjustment, every timely test, every deliberate decision to monitor potassium levels becomes a thread in the fabric of resilience, weaving safety, awareness, and empowerment into daily existence. The stakes are high because the consequences are immediate and profound. The heart, the silent engine that drives life itself, is vulnerable to even modest potassium imbalances, and yet, within this vulnerability lies an opportunity to exercise control, to demonstrate awareness, and to cultivate a proactive mindset that transcends mere survival. The suspense here is not meant to instill fear, but to awaken attention and respect for the delicate interplay between action and outcome, cause and effect. In recognizing the silent threat of hyperkalemia, we are reminded of the timeless principle that preparation and vigilance are more powerful than luck or hope alone. The lessons extend beyond CKD. Life's hidden dangers, whether in health, relationships, or personal ambitions, demand the same careful observation, the same commitment to early intervention, and the same courage to act decisively before problems escalate. Dr. Mathew R. Weir that teaches us to embrace these principles with clarity, showing that even in the face of silent looming challenges, individuals have the power to reshape outcomes through knowledge, discipline, and awareness. Suspense, in this context, becomes a teacher. It sharpens the mind, heightens perception, and instills an urgency to engage thoughtfully with the present moment. We learn that the invisible threads of life's complexities, when understood and respected, can guide us towards strength, clarity, and intentional living. By attending to subtle cues in our health and in life, by trusting in the process of vigilance and informed action, we cultivate a form of mastery that allows us not only to survive challenges, but to transcend them. The story of CKD patients navigating the peril of high potassium becomes a metaphor for the human journey itself, hidden threats, quiet suspense, and the ultimate power of awareness and purposeful action. Every moment of attention, every informed choice, every precaution taken transforms suspense into confidence, fear into empowerment, and vulnerability into resilience. This is the profound insight Dr. Mathew R. Weir that imparts. Life's unseen dangers, though daunting, are also the very opportunities that teach us discipline, strengthen our resolve, and reveal the extraordinary potential that lies within each of us. And so, as we arrive at the final reflection on the journey of navigating chronic kidney disease and the hidden danger of high potassium levels, we come face to face with a truth that transcends medicine, a truth that resonates deeply with the philosophy of life itself, the path to mastery, whether over our health, our emotions, or our destiny, lies in conscious engagement, persistent awareness, and the courage to act before crises strike. Just as CKD patients must monitor potassium, adjust diets, and interpret subtle bodily signals to prevent emergencies, so too must we all develop the habit of attentive living, understanding that the smallest, seemingly inconsequential actions often have the most profound consequences. Dr. Mathew R. Weir, that reminds us that knowledge without action is merely potential energy, waiting in vain, and that the true measure of wisdom is the ability to apply understanding with discipline, precision, and foresight. In this final stretch, we recognize that the challenges of life, much like the silent accumulation of potassium in CKD, are not merely threats to endure, but opportunities to exercise control, to cultivate resilience, and to demonstrate our commitment to intentional living. Each day offers choices that ripple through time, a conscious decision to prioritize health, to act with patience and clarity, to listen attentively to the signals our body provides, is a decision that reinforces our strength, sharpens our awareness, and affirms our dedication to life itself. The suspense, the tension, the silent potential for crisis, all of these are present not to intimidate, but to awaken a deeper sense of responsibility, a call to elevate our consciousness and embrace the power that lies within careful, deliberate action. For those facing CKD, the stakes are clear and immediate. The heart, vulnerable to excess potassium, demands vigilance, and yet within this vulnerability lies a profound metaphor for living courageously, embracing the unknown with preparation, insight, and resolve. It is a reminder that life rarely presents obstacles openly. More often, the most significant challenges arrive quietly, subtly, and persistently, testing our discipline, patience, and awareness at every turn. In this sense, the journey of managing high potassium in CKD patients becomes emblematic of a larger philosophy of life, one in which careful observation, proactive adjustment, and consistent effort shape outcomes far more than chance or circumstance ever could. Dr. Mathew R. Weir, that teaches us to recognize the interconnectedness of knowledge, action, and awareness, illustrating that the invisible threads of cause and effect in both health and life can guide us toward mastery when approached with clarity and intention. Each measured choice, each informed step, each moment of attention builds a foundation upon which resilience, confidence, and self-mastery are constructed. There is no mystery in this process, only the patient work of aligning awareness with action, insight with discipline, and preparation with courage. As we reflect upon the journey from ignorance to knowledge, from passivity to deliberate engagement, we come to understand that the challenges we face, though daunting, are not permanent obstacles, but invitations to grow, to refine our habits, and to embrace the profound responsibility that comes with self-awareness. The silent threat of hyperkalemia in CKD patients is a teacher, guiding the patient to respect the subtle signals of the body, to act decisively, and to cultivate practices that safeguard life while enhancing vitality. Beyond its clinical importance, this lesson extends into every aspect of human existence. Vigilance, mindfulness, and proactive action are universal principles that allow us to navigate uncertainty with confidence and grace. By applying this philosophy, inspired by the teachings of Dr. Mathew R. Weir, we recognize that every seemingly small adjustment, whether monitoring potassium, changing a habit, or responding to an early warning sign, is an affirmation of control, a declaration of empowerment, and a step towards a life lived intentionally. And so, the story of CKD patients and hyperpotassium becomes more than a medical narrative. It becomes a parable of life itself, illustrating the power of awareness, the necessity of action, and the extraordinary results that flow from the disciplined alignment of knowledge and effort. Every heartbeat, every conscious choice, every measure taken to prevent risk is a testament to the human capacity for resilience, insight, and transformation. Life's hidden threats, whether internal or external, do not define us. They refine us, shaping character, sharpening perception, and revealing the extraordinary strength that lies within. And as we conclude this reflection, it is clear that the greatest victories often arise not from avoiding challenges altogether, but from embracing them with courage, understanding, and deliberate action. If you're benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.